Welcome back to the Pistons Jack YouTube channel. Today we had the first major domino of the 2025 offseason fall with the Grizzlies trading Desmond Bane to the Magic. We're going to talk about how that affects our Pistons and what moves could be to follow. So, as I mentioned off the top, Desmond Bane has been traded in a pretty unexpected move to the Orlando Magic for 4 first-round picks, a pick swap, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Cole Anthony. Now, on the surface, just quickly, my thoughts on this trade. I think this is a really solid trade for the Magic. Desmond Bane, they desperately need shooting on the perimeter. They need shooting in general, but shooting on the perimeter, their guards in Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, even Cole Anthony at times have been streaky shooters and struggled to shoot. So Desmond Bane immediately fills that void as one of the best volume three-point shooters in the league. We've seen him torch our Pistons. So this move in the short term immediately makes the Magic a lot better, in my opinion. And I think they had to throw an extra pick in there to sweeten the deal because the Grizzlies are taking on KCP's contract, which right now looks pretty bad. I believe he still has another 2 years, around $40 million left on that deal. So with how he played last season, that contract can be viewed as a negative asset. Hence, the additional picks, which is why I think at a glance, 4 first-round picks seems like a lot. I believe one of them is the Phoenix Suns pick. 3 of them are the Magic's. There might be some protection. So it's still going to be viewed as an overpay, but I think Desmond Bane at the age of 27, 28, 4 years to go on his contract, it's kind of what smaller market teams just have to do to get in talent almost more often than not is overpay a little bit. And it's something we should keep in mind with our Pistons, that a lot of these trades to go get quality fringe all-star type talent or higher is going to cost either a boatload of picks or some of your blue chip talent. So the Magic, they went the picks route. I mean, Cole Anthony, I know, was good in their locker room and a good vibes guy and did contribute to their winning, but they didn't really give up any young talent currently on the roster. It's all future stuff. So it's always going to be one or the other or both, depending on how good the talent is. So this is really interesting because to see the Magic go all in, because now they've kind of gone all in on Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, and Paolo Banchero as their kind of 4 core guys. Now, they still have Wendell Carter Jr. at the 5 and some other options, but that's their core now. That's what they're bought in for, unless they trade one of those other 3 young guys in Suggs, Wagner, or Banchero, which I highly doubt. This is what they're going with. They're going for it. They had a down season last year, and the Pistons left them in the standings after many thinking the Magic had the team of the future and were much ahead of the Pistons due to some injuries and some struggles offensively, and the Pistons just ascending. Detroit went past the Magic last season, but now they've made a move to get higher than the 8th seed, which is, I think, where they finished. And they're going to be right in the mix now for, with how the East looks, a top 4 seed. And it's going to be interesting because I think most people now would say they're ahead of the Pistons. I think just in regards to the Pistons and Magic going head to head, like when they play each other, I do think the Magic's size has always been an issue for this Detroit team. More not so much at the center position, but more so on the wings. The Magic just have Franz, who's like 7 foot. They've got Paolo, who's like 6'10". Sorry, Franz isn't 7 foot. They're both like 6'10", and they're huge, strong guys. So that's always been an issue for the Pistons to guard them. So now adding some more shooting, I think the Pistons would struggle as currently constructed in a game against the Magic. And then in terms of how this affects the season, I think if you just, most experts are going to say the Magic are ahead of the Pistons now. So the reason we're talking about all of this is because now the discussion becomes, what did Detroit do? I've been much in the corner of keeping the young core we have and looking to upgrade around the margins for some more two-way talent. Maybe upgrading THJ. I've always been about bringing back Beasley. I think his three-point shooting is crucial and much needed with the Pistons' lack of shooting at times in their young core. But I think the key here is trying to upgrade that THJ position and bringing in either a backup 4 or some more talent on the wing that can potentially shoot and defend to go alongside Cade Ivey. But with this kind of move, it's hard to ignore the fact that if the Grizzlies could be potentially resetting, they need to still find a new head coach. They've just moved one of their absolute key pieces in Desmond Bane. Are they looking to retool and potentially move on from the likes of Ja Morant and in turn move on from who I think is their best player, Jaren Jackson Jr.? Because maybe Memphis are looking at the West right now. You have the Nuggets, you have OKC, the Lakers with Luka. They're going to make some moves this summer. The Clippers seem to always be solid. Uh, are the Grizzlies saying Ja might not be the star we thought he was, and it might be time to kind of blow it up, reset, get a heap of assets. I know it might sound silly now, but follow what the Jazz did in trading their two stars after they made the Western Conference Finals or the second round and things just petered out for them. Are they looking to just get a whole heap of picks back and kind of retool and kickstart a rebuild while the West seems to be controlled by the Thunder and some other teams? So there's been no reporting on this, but pure discussion. If Jaren Jackson Jr. is available, should the Pistons go all in? Now, I think to get Jaren Jackson Jr., this isn't like the KD trades we've discussed. The Pistons are going to have to offer, I would say, two of their young core, whether that's Duran and Ron, or maybe it's Asar and Ron, or maybe it's Ivy plus Ron. And I think they're going to have to throw in picks. Jaren Jackson Jr., I think, is all defensive team this past season, defensive player of the year, two-time All-Star. He's like 25 years old. He's entering the last year of his rookie extension at around 25 million. So I think any deal is probably going to involve Tobias plus Ivy or Ron, one of those type players, plus potentially another young player and picks. Should the Pistons do it? I want to hear your comments below. I'm very torn on this. Jackson Jr. has sometimes struggled with his injuries, but in terms of a spacing big, like if you were able to keep, obviously you would keep Cade. If you're able to keep Asar and Ron, add Jaren Jackson Jr., like you kind of alleviate some of those spacing issues. Or if you're able to keep Asar, Ivy, and Cade with Jaren Jackson Jr., maybe you want Duran. I think Duran and Jaren Jackson Jr. would be an awesome duo. So I think adding him, whilst I'm not sure he can be the second leading scorer in a championship team, if Ivy could potentially become not your traditional second star, but at least like a consistent 20 to 25, 20 to 22 points per game, plus Cade's 26, plus Triple J's 18 to 22, then I think that's a pretty good three-headed scoring option. There's some really interesting combos. So I probably do think this is the type of player you would go all in on for. So let me know in the comments if Jaren Jackson Jr. is available. Should the Pistons be all in? The injury stuff scares me a little bit, but I think at his age, his accomplishments so far, and what the Pistons' like biggest need is, I think he would be a tremendous pickup. Like, imagine if they're able to keep Stu as well. Like, there's just you mix in the young core plus Jaren Jackson Jr. plus some veteran shooting. Like, that's a that's a team in the East that could be top four for years to come, years and years to come, if they can stay healthy. And maybe one year you make the finals and you can win a chip. So yeah, it's interesting. No reporting. If anything, maybe the Grizzlies are now looking to go make a big splash with all the assets they just got for Bane. So you never know what's happening. This doesn't mean that the Grizzlies are blowing it up because they traded Desmond Bane, but it does raise the question: is Jaren Jackson Jr. available? Because he kind of does feel like we've been talking about the four position: Naz Reid, Bobby Portis, these other fours that can shoot. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr., in terms of spacing bigs that can defend, it doesn't get much better than him. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Very interesting trade today. Plenty more stuff to come, and we'll have you covered here over at Pistons Jack. But as always, go Pistons.